Confused about what career to choose? Not quite sure of the range of study and work options compatible with your personality, aptitude and interests? Welcome to Career Cafe, where we give you a ringside view of an exciting career opportunity each week. Together, we shall explore the pros and cons, the ins and outs, the programs and prospects, all the stuff you need to make an informed and successful career choice. Hi, I'm your host and career guide, Parveen Malhotra. And on the menu today, we have the recipe for setting up your own enterprise. One of the key indicators of a country's economic health is employment, or more precisely, its unemployment levels. Young people looking to launch their careers often ask about the employment prospects of a given field, which is why on this show, we typically press our experts to elaborate upon the skills required to become job-ready in a particular sector or industry. While having the right skills can make the difference between getting a job or not, wouldn't it be even better if with the right skills you could become a job creator, an employer instead of a job seeker? Unbelievable as it may sound, this is actually doable. And to tell us how you can transform yourself into a job-creating entrepreneur, we have with us Dr. H.P. Kumar from the National Small Industries Corporation. Dr. Kumar is the chairman and MD of NSIC, a public sector organization of the Government of India. Besides being a qualified banker, he has an MBA and a PhD in rural industrialization to his credit. He's held senior positions as head of finance and CEO of public sector corporations. He's also held foreign assignments in African countries. Dr. Kumar has long experience in promoting, developing, and financing industries, exports, and other small and large projects. Welcome to Career Cafe, Dr. Kumar. What a pleasure.
Thank you.
So tell me, I mean, we are not going to waste any time with introduction. This is such an exciting topic. How do you turn an unemployed job seeker into a job creator? Is that really possible?
It's very simple, I would say. In fact, we have set up a new model, which we call it as rapid incubation.
Mm-hmm.
Under that model, any person, whether he is unemployed or employed, we are interested in providing him, knowledge and the infrastructure and other requirements to make him fully, conscious about entrepreneurship,
mm-hmm.
and give him the wherewithals by holding his hand fully so that he can start his own enterprise. Now, that model is a bit different from other incubation models in the world. Here, it is not only the classroom training or the knowledge or the mentoring, verbal mentoring, or the lecturing that is being done. We have created simulated conditions of various kinds of small projects.
Okay.
And somebody who is interested in becoming an entrepreneur and setting up his own enterprise, he or she has to come and engage practically on that particular project for a certain period.
But these are live projects?
These are live projects. These are running projects. We have created, as I said, we have created simulated conditions of various projects. We have selected about 110 kinds of projects, small projects, which can be started with an investment as low as with 50,000 rupees and go up to 25 lakhs maximum. I mean, one can scale up later,
right?
But initially it is up to 25 lakhs because the objective is to create micro enterprises more, in number. So we have selected about 110 projects, kinds of projects, which are of daily use items. They do not require much of the marketing efforts.
So these are industrial manufacturing projects or services related?
No, they are both.
Okay.
Industrial projects as well as services like boutique, fashion designing,
Oh,
embroidery, health center. These are small projects
Right.
which are women centric.
right.
Soft toy making or fashion designing or beauty parlors. These are small which can be started by females in their houses, in the backyards of their places, in small towns, and they do not require much of the marketing surveys or marketing efforts. These are small manufacturing items, manufactured products or services which are locally can be
Required.
marketed, locally required. So the objective is, not to incubate new ideas. The objective is to incubate people. Change their mindset so that they do not totally depend on the jobs. And instead of job seeker, as you rightly said, they become job providers by setting up their micro enterprises.
But is everyone capable of becoming an entrepreneur, for instance? Doesn't it require a particular mindset?
Well, I would say that exceptionally you can exclude
Okay.
few people. Otherwise, we have seen that all the people who come to us, in one way or the other, they have some interest here and there, either in services or in manufacturing or in particular product or in some kind of art and culture. We have those kinds of projects.
Handicrafts and things.
Handicrafts. So the person would be interested in some way or the other. We do some kind of initial discussion, screening to understand his or her tastes and inclination, the background, and then decide, giving an option, of course.
Right.
Not that we decide for him or her. He or she has to decide within the given various options to him or her, and then finalize in consultation.
And then, so just run us through the process. Suppose I'm unemployed or underemployed or whatever, and I come to
The
you.
process is that we advertise.
Okay.
We have set up 60 incubation centers in the country. We are in the process of enhancing, one by one. It's over the last 2 years that we have started this program. So we advertise asking for the people to come and join this program.
So is there a limit to the number of people who can come to you, or the number of people you
if
can
the
help?
applicants are more, we allot them the
Slots.
because it's a 3 months program.
Uh-huh.
And we run 2 programs at a time, one in the forenoon, one in the afternoon.
Okay.
So we can accommodate 60 people at a time.
In each center.
Yeah, 30 in the
30
morning
in the
session,
morning
30 in the,
Okay.
60 at a time. But they have to run complete the program in 3 months. The second month we start another one, because our machines
rolling.
are busy for 1 month.
Right.
Then second month they go into another area of training. So the machines are available second month. The second month 2 more batches start.
Okay.
So third month 2 more batches. Like that, every month there are 2 batches which start.
Now these 3-month courses are common to all industries or trades, or specific?
No, I was coming to that. After the applications are received, we screen them and call them for an initial interview, but we invite all of them. We don't exclude anybody. And based on their interest and inclination, we show them the projects.
Okay.
They are lined up there in that incubation center. They see and make up their mind. If somebody is interested in bakery products or biscuit making or garment designing or light engineering products or some bricks making, building material, something. No, he has to then find out. He is interested in food processing, packaging. Those projects are lined up. He will see that. After he is selected and we have interviewed him, we will put him in that particular project for 1 month practical training. He has to run the machine, he has to bring the raw material, make the product, run the machine, maintain the machine, learn the entire technical know-how of that particular. It's a vocational, basically training, practical training. After 1 month, he goes to the classroom. There he learns about the business, theories and making project report, taxation issues and registration issues and all those things.
So is any academic qualification mandated?
We have prescribed 10th standard. but that is basically a measure, in fact, to help him to understand, you know, the writing part also. But if there are some people who are not even that qualified, and
it's not a hard and
yeah,
fast.
it's not a hard. We can put him in some trades where not much of the, you know,
yes, where you don't
writing
need
or
yes.
this is required.
So, okay, so 3 months of this training,
Yeah.
and then what happens?
See, during this month, we tie up with the, after he has completed the practical part and prepared the project, and we seek approvals during that period, like registration of his PAN, VAT number, or if his firm is to be registered, that will be done. So all these initial work will be completed so as to save his time in future. Then we prepare his loan proposal if in case he is in need of funding from the bank, and put it to the bank, and invite the banker also to interview him, and so that the credit is tied up. He has worked on certain machines. We have those machinery suppliers as backup as under our agreement, because he will need those equipments and machines also. So there we have agreed agreements with them, and the machines will be readily available. Some people don't need the loan, so they can easily pay and machine installed. The machinery manufacturer, the equipment supplier, will install the machinery or equipment at his premises, his or her premises, will install it, test run it, and then hand over in the running condition to that particular person.
Oh, so it could be in some small village somewhere, it doesn't matter?
Anywhere, it doesn't matter. Mostly the people are coming from small villages, small towns.
Small towns.
And you know, like in Delhi, they are coming mostly from NCR regions like Meerut, Ghaziabad.
Right.
And all that, installation, training, handing over is done up to that stage. After that, the issue remains is only of marketing. In case he or she is unable to find local market, we help them in market support also by asking them to participate in our exhibitions, buyer-seller meets, and these things. That is how, and we keep monitoring. Over a period of next 3 months, we keep in touch in case any other assistance is needed or any other guidance is needed, that also we provide.
So these courses, these 3-month programs, are they charged?
Well, we have fixed a fee of 5,000 rupees, but for people who are below the poverty line, women, people belonging to scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, we have started giving 90% concession.
Really? Yeah. How wonderful. I think this is wonderful news for all our viewers out there. And we'll take a short break here. But when we return, we'll continue our discussion on how to become an employment creator from being an unemployed or employment seeker. Dr. Kumar, how do you select these projects? I mean, India is so diverse geographically and also in terms of availability of raw material, etc. So how do you decide that someone in Haryana or someone in the Northeast, what should he be doing, the kind of projects? Have you a model for this?
Initially what we have done is we have shortlisted basically the daily use consumer items, which are used all over the country by the people. Cosmetics and healthcare and garments, food processing, leather, building construction, various sectors, pharmaceuticals. We have compiled a list of, as I said, 110 projects, and we have made ready-made project profiles also for them to give initial information. Now these are the projects you can set up anywhere. In small town, in village, in city, in urban areas, in rural areas, and these items or the services are required by all and sundry. But the choice is given to the participant, the candidate, depending upon which area he belongs to, he or she belongs to. Because if in his or her area the cotton is grown or the raw material is like apples or fruits, naturally he would go for this kind of a project. So we also help him or her in understanding and relating it basically with the available raw material. Some people come to us and they say that they have some background of working in some enterprise, factory, or they have some parental business. Like if somebody is having a parental business of garments, he would surely be interested in garment making, fashion designing. So we can relate, in fact, with this kind of background check and linking it with our standard, selection of the project, bouquet of the projects, and then deciding in consultation as to which particular project or service is to be started.
So, so far, how many such people would you have helped set up?
See, we have started this program 2 years back.
Okay.
Our Delhi center, which is in Okhla, we have a capacity of 300 people in a year, but we have been training more, in fact about 450 per annum. And I would say now we expanded this program and set up 60 more centers in the country, in various parts of the country. Every center is supposed to have 300 people. But as I said, because of the demand, we expand the facilities and do it accordingly.
So how many of these are women? Are women coming forward?
Women are coming. Women are coming, and in large number of women are coming, because we have women-centric projects. I would say the response is more than our expectations. And my estimate is, I can give you figures later, but it's almost 40% of our incubatees are women.
Really?
Yeah, it's a very
That's
good.
so encouraging. Yes.
And mostly young women, students, those who have passed recently and they would like to start their enterprises, and good qualified management graduates and technical graduates, diploma holders are coming, and because they are finding it difficult to get the jobs. They don't want to go for menial jobs, like they feel that starting your own enterprise, howsoever small it may be, is more respectful than going for a menial job. And in this you have the scope of expanding, scaling up later, depending upon how much hard work and marketing efforts you can make. Sky is the limit, and that is how people are getting attracted and coming. We have a good success rate also, and it's doing very well.
But have you observed any trends in terms of the people who have higher education, come with higher qualifications, stand a better chance of sustaining their enterprises, or it's just something that you have?
No, I would say that people with higher qualifications and better knowledge have much higher chance of succeeding in this kind of businesses. But the problem is they are not exposed to, they are not aware.
Yes. We have this job mindset.
In fact, I happen to visit to various management institutes and technical institutes. I find almost all of them enter into these institutions, management or technical, with an objective of getting selected through the campus and going for a job. When I ask them, how many of you have thought of your own enterprises, I think hardly anybody is exposed to this kind of option. So our job is to first create awareness.
I think we are a little risk averse, no?
Exactly.
I mean, as a people.
But once we have started a program, in fact, looking at this problem, we at NSIC have started this program of bringing students. So as a part of our orientation program to students, we bring them for a day. It's their outing basically from management institutes, and they feel happy in going out for some practical orientation. And when they come and see our incubation facilities and the options available for starting their enterprise, at the end of the day, if you ask them, everybody is interested.
They want to,
everybody
right,
is interested.
Right.
And I would say that this kind of exposure to them helps them in appreciating the kind of options available.
So you also help them with venture capital and stuff?
Well, we don't have our venture capital fund, but we try to link it with the venture capitalists. But as of now, since, as I said, that we are focusing only on micro enterprises.
Right.
So micro enterprises virtually do not go for venture funding.
Okay.
If at all they need some funding support, they will go for credit from the bank. Because venture capitalists will look at some kind of medium, small, higher level of the small and
more sophisticated. Yes.
But as you rightly mentioned, that if high educated people enter this area, they would stand a better chance of succeeding because of the better understanding, the methodical way, and the kind of professional knowledge and the skills that they have. and we really encourage them, motivate them to enter this area. And that is the need of the country also.
Absolutely, absolutely. In a country where unemployment is so rife, I think this is really the answer. So this model that you have, and you say that you've been very successful with it, have you, is it confined to your operations in India? Have you explored its application elsewhere to other countries like ours?
While we are working in India, in other states, in all the states almost,
Right.
Because it's a national level corporation that we have. There are lot many countries when their delegations visit India and they come to us, in fact, for understanding
How we
small
do
and
things.
medium enterprises, how do they grow their this sector. And when they look at this incubation model, everybody feels so inclined towards having this kind of replicating the model in their country. So I see a lot of interest in those countries, and we are now working with the we have in fact signed MOUs with 30 countries. Yeah, and we
Countries
are setting
like?
mostly the African countries, but then there are countries in Latin America like Trinidad, Tobago,
Okay.
Mexico. Then we have countries in CIS like Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, and even in Arab like this Iran and Bahrain. So I mean in almost all areas where this kind of self-employment opportunities is looked after, is considered to be an option for giving it to the unemployed people to create employment opportunities.
Wow, wonderful, absolutely. So what is your advice to young people? Finally, what is it that you would like to tell them?
I would say that
And how should they really prepare themselves? Because there is a statistic, I was reading somewhere that out of every 100 new businesses that start, 90 fail. That's the universal kind of statistic. So how to make sure that your enterprise doesn't fail? What is needed?
See, first of all, I would like to advise the young people that don't only depend on having a job or only considering job as an option. Always keep that there is an other option available, starting your own business enterprise. The problem is that people are not, the students or the people or the unemployed or anybody is not aware as to what.
True.
He is confused.
Yes.
I mean, he or she wants to start something of his own, but he is not aware as to what to start. Somebody needs to handhold and give them the ideas. So they can approach NSIC offices all over the country, or they can go to our website, nsicindia.com, nsic.co.in. And I would say that failure is not, failure in business is not to be perceived as one of the, important aspects of starting a business. Failure may happen only when you lose interest or you have half-hearted kind of approach towards starting a business. I have seen that people who really work hard in their own business enterprises never failing. And in India, is so much of market, so much of
it's
demand.
So huge, untapped.
You produce anything on the roadside, it sells. So, I mean, as long as you are serious, as long as you can really work hard, focus, I don't think failure should be seen as one of the risk or something.
Yes, and as long as you're willing to roll up your sleeves and work, yes, that is what it is.
And small business, your own business can be started with as low as investment of I would say 50,000 rupees. We can give you projects in 50,000 rupees. You can start your enterprise. You can not only engage yourself but engage one or two more people also.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And your family members and all.
Exactly,
Yes, you can raise the entire
There are
standard.
small enterprises, small projects or service-oriented enterprise which can be started from your homes. I mean, as long as they are not polluting and
yes,
with those conditions.
Home industry,
of course, yeah,
yes.
home industries, cottage industries. You can start in the backyard of your place. I mean, in small towns and villages, people are doing that.
So what else does NSIC do besides
Well,
this?
this is one program that we have. This basically orientation and incubation for the new business creation. But our major program is for helping the existing micro, small and medium enterprises through main focus is on marketing support.
Okay.
Under the marketing support, we have all over the country we have established raw material distribution centers. Raw materials, because sometimes raw material, small industries have to buy smaller quantities of raw materials.
Yes, and that becomes very unviable.
Very unviable, and they have to pay almost 15-20% higher charges to the retailer. So we give them raw material in smaller quantities at the company prices, which saves them almost 10 to 15% in terms of the cost. That is one program. Second thing is we help them in getting the tenders from the government, public sector, and also foreign buyers.
Yes, your export, your portal,
and exporting, and also help them in mobilizing credit from the banks, credit facilitation. In case they need any of the help in executing those tenders, we do that. We do their bill discounting. There are various programs. And another program is that we are, capacity building in terms of rating them.
Yes.
So that they can execute their orders and they can.
Wonderful, wonderful. So there's so much wonderful stuff that you're doing. And with that, we wrap up today's show here. Dr. Kumar, thank you so much for coming. I think this has even opened my eyes, of course, our viewers' eyes as well. Next week on Career Cafe, we'll look at yet another super career option. Do send us your feedback at careercafe.lstv@gmail.com. And till then, let me leave you with one of my favorite quotes. Take charge of your own destiny, else someone else will. So bye for now. Vyast raho aur mast raho.
Thank you.